EA Sports coverage takes us to one of the newest jewels on the NFL landscape, U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone, and he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, Mariota. And Tate's got it. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They go with Abdullah again. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Throwing is Mariota. Ebron with it over the middle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep, Travis Benjamin.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
15 yards there on the catch and run.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone. On
first down, it's Gurley. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes were being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
On second down, here's Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just...
Now Mike Nugent for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
On the handoff, it's Gurley. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Second down following the run. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Here again is McKinnon. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
They'll try and sneak it here. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
One of the hallmarks of their success this year, they've been fearless on 4th down, and they convert another one right here to move the chains. So
the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. McKinnon. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. The one running back is Gurley. He'll get the football here. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. They'll try the air now with Stafford. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it 3rd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
They come out here in the eye. Here's Stafford. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. On the toss, it's McKinnon. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
This is turning into a bit of a death march here, the 13th play of this drive. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
The 2nd down throw here for Mariota. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
10 yards to go on 3rd. Play fake. Mariota. Backing up. Looking deep downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot. Couldn't connect.
Pass interference. Defense.
Certainly some contact there, and that's why there's a penalty on the defender for pass interference.
So hard to time it up for a defender to hit the receiver when the ball arrives. Got there a little bit early on that one.
Following the penalty, Abdullah. And he's brought down. It'll go as a game. Of 10 there, and it'll move the chains.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guy's trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost, but this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
A 2nd down run for Abdullah. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Mariota. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Golden Tate, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are in for 6. Nugent on now for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Now it's Stafford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Here's Stafford. He's going to launch this thing way down. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Well, the coaches mentioned they weren't as concerned about big play offense. They thought they could get some shorter, quicker stuff and be consistent, and that's kind of what they showed there.
What they saw in preparation, what they saw in film, is a defense that likes to get out fast in terms of coverage.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Anthony Barr in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
It's a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Gurley, and he is going to lose yardage here. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's second and long. To throw on second down is Stafford. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Vontae Davis. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Out to the flat for Reddick. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And out now come the Vikings. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go,
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. 2nd down and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme. Get a little bit more.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. The extra point coming now for Nugent. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is taken at the 3. Then he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT. Stephon Diggs. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Mariota now on 2nd down. He's got time. Under pressure, they got him again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returning, it's Benjamin. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Lions defense gearing up as they take the field. They were picked apart really on that last drive through the air. Now 2 touchdowns against some of the passing variety here in this first half.
And momentum totally going against them right now. One way to shift it, a big sack or some sort of a takeaway. They've got to find a way to get back in balance in this game because right now they're under siege.
Yeah, they're a little bit shaken.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Fresh set of downs here. Stafford on first down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up second down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Throwing again is Stafford. And Diggs has it. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
From the red zone now, Stafford. That is caught at the 7-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
And apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see you in the postgame. We're ready to get to the 3rd quarter. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit defense, we get set to watch them go. This will be their first crack here of the second half. We'll see what, if any, adjustments they made in the locker room.
And the bulk of adjustments usually come down to, guys, we did pretty well in the first half. Play with that intensity, with that focus, and we'll adjust anything else they throw at us in the second half.
Second drive here of the second half.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They come out here in the eye. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Michael Pruitt, the big tight end, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. And finding Pruitt. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
This drive is turning into an extended one. And the guy carrying the ball, He's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Again, they run with Gurley. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Now a handoff for Gurley. Cut back, left sideline. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Touchdown, Vikings. Todd Gurley with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
They'll try to run with McKinnon, and he'll get in for the 2 points, and that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
From the pistol, they'll run with Abdullah. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
They'll run here. Abdullah. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
On 1st down, Abdullah. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now a second down throw for Mariota. Ebron with it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards there on the catch and run. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Amir Abdullah with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. And Charles, the second time today that he has hit pay dirt.
And once you score the first one, there is that natural tendency, and there's also that eagerness to get back there again. Oh, he smells it. This guy smelled the end zone, and twice he's gotten there.
Nugent on now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally, and his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can, but if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work.
And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Stafford on 3rd down. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 4th and 3.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They are going to go for it. It's Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Throwing again is Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 1st down, it's Stafford. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They run. It's Gurley. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really, at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now, as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. And quickly they get to the line. Now it's Stafford. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. 2nd and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. Now McKinnon. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Now Riddick. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On 3rd down, Mariota. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down. So you got to think, if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Here's Stafford now on second down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. And now they're in the hurry-up. From the gun on third down, Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Desperation time for Stafford on fourth down. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down. So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Mariota from the gun on third down. And he'll go down at the 28. He'll get a couple yards on that one. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. And an important spot here as on comes the veteran kicker, Mike Nugent, from the right hash. This from 45 yards away. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
And now out comes Minnesota. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
The one running back is Gurley. And they'll give it to him here. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing on third down, Stafford. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the football back in terrific field position. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Again, it's Abdullah. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. But 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Riddick with a carry. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And Nugent puts it through, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall. There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. 2nd down now after the incompletion. Stafford now to throw. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And they're going to speed things up here. Now Stafford. Left side caught by Diggs. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards on the pickup there. And that leads to a Minnesota 1st down. Now it's Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1. Now they have to convert. And then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard, and the time left on the clock, as you noted, so many things to go through.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They come out here in the eye. This is Abdullah. And some space here. And he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout. So as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And they will take a knee here. Mariota with a knee to the ground, and that should be it. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.